Welcome, everybody, to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and as always, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, good friend, and the man with the Ignite t-shirt on today, Mr. Adam Cousins. Adam, how are you, mate?
All good. Happy Tuesday to you. Did you have a good long weekend?
Oh, I did, mate. I played a lot of golf. I was
Noticed.
flying solo this weekend. The family was away, so I just spent all of it on the golf course and watching a shed ton of wrestling.
Me
Uh,
too.
Hence why we're here to review last night's a Monday Night Raw, mate.
Yeah.
Um,
Strap yourself in, traps.
yeah, strap yourself in. Now, do you want me to let you rant straight away, or shall we build into it? It's entirely up to you because I feel like your t-shirt is quite apt today because I think you're ready to ignite. Do you just want to go or?
I'll rant when I need to.
Okay, right. Well, Monday Night Raw kicked off with Seth Rollins opening up the show, introduced as the new World Heavyweight Champion. And
We
then,
we would have seen a mini Seth Rollins if his pants had ripped any higher.
yeah, I mean, to be fair to him, we did laugh about that in the backstage segment later on in the show, which I thought was quite funny. Fair play to him. I like comic Seth. I think he's good. Seth opened the show, come out, and do you know what? One thing I do want to say is, and we interviewed Vince Russo way back when we started this show. And I think the day after, he went on his social media and said, I've had enough of people singing wrestlers' theme tunes. And Adam, I've had enough of people singing wrestlers' theme tunes. It was good at the start, but all I hear, whoa, well, I'm like, I've had enough of it, mate. I mean, it's kind of my little mini rant before we really get into Monday Night Raw. I've had enough. I don't like it. I'm a grumpy old man. I don't like people singing the wrestler's theme tune. It goes on for ages, and every time he stops and pauses with the microphone in his hand, oh, shut up. Just get on with it. Anyway, I digress. Seth opened up the show, mate, and then something that we have been speaking about. The draft just went out the window.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about the WWE draft? And again, our good buddy Vince Russo tweeted out today that the draft is merely just a ratings scam. Gets people to tune in. It doesn't really mean much because they'll just chop and change around anyway. AJ Styles come out to cut Seth short during his promo. And even in my notes here, I do keep looking down at them because there's a lot of them. In brackets, I've got, what is the point of the draft? AJ come out and basically said Seth had earned the right to be champion.
Yep.
So that little start of Raw, mate, what did you make of it? I mean, it's good to see a champion on Raw again, albeit, you know, AJ comes out and the draft gets blown out the window. But what did you make to the start of Raw, bud?
Yeah, what was the fucking point in us just like waiting for the draft to happen?
Ratings,
Like
mate.
the funny thing was, and as you know, me and Twitter interactions have kicked off recently.
Oh my god! For those that don't know, we have joint access to our Twitter. So there's myself, Adam, Dave, and Rachel runs our Instagram. I don't always get to look at our Twitter inbox or DMs, but as soon as I jump back in my work truck throughout the day, Adam will screenshot me something or we'll be talking, and I always check it. Wow. I checked it yesterday, and Adam's, I don't know if it was just you and Dave or just you. Wow. You set the Twitter HTT Buckleverse alive. You were having how can I put this? A heated debate.
Here's the thing. It was like, I was trying to be, okay, so this is the rant. So actually the rant.
Here we go. Strap in, everyone.
The rant was not much.
I've got my drink ready.
Yeah, I'm glad. The rant was not much to do with Raw, but it played into part of it now because of some tweets I've seen this morning.
Okay.
We talk to wrestlers about like toxic social media. And I'm now a firm belief that the wrestling social, and not all of our followers, by the way, but there's a percentage of wrestling people out there on social media that are absolute, I'm going to use the CM Punk thing here, fucking children. I'm old, I'm miserable, and I have to read tweets from fucking children that think that it's okay for one brand to do something. When the other brand does it, they shit on it. prime example. This is the tweet that started it. Somebody said that Tony Khan had come out and said that on the Double or Nothing press conference that 65,000 seats had been sold for All In.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody responded to that and says, Tony Khan inflates ticket sales. WWE never do that.
Wow, is it their first day watching wrestling?
So I calmly said, look, mate, they do. They've done it for loads of WrestleManias. Yeah. And then the follow-up was, well, they don't do it for Raw or SmackDown. AEW don't do it for Dynamite. And it carried on and on. It was basically everything WWE done wrong. It wasn't an argument where they could back it up with facts. It was AEW do this, AEW do that. It was like, I would respect AEW more if they didn't mention WWE on their program.
Lucky they weren't around during the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was part of the run. But going back to what you said with the draft, and one of the tweets this morning was someone criticised it. Is like, what was the point? Yeah. What was the point? These guys.
I agree.
The response was, well, they're allowed to. Paul Heyman does it. It's fine. It's like, well, no, it's not fine because Paul Heyman's exclusive to SmackDown with the Bloodline. So why was he on Raw promoting the stuff with Kevin and Sammy when, in fact, the only people that are allowed on both shows are the undisputed champions? So not even Roman's not even allowed on Raw anymore. And this whole draft is like, what's the point? Who's going to show up next week? What are we going to do next week? Seth's going to come out and, I don't know, Bobby Lashley's going to come out again, is he? And congratulate him next week. It annoys me, man. I'm glad, don't get me wrong. I'm glad we got a champion. Let's.
It doesn't work. It doesn't seem to work the other way, does it? They don't seem to be on SmackDown much. It always seems to be SmackDown to Raw. Even, that's the way it's gone over years. It doesn't seem to be vice versa. I don't know if it's like a travel thing later on in the week and they can't.
Well, AJ Styles was literally a last-second addition. What I read earlier on.
Oh, really?
They wasn't planning to do it. Yeah. So we suppose that we know who got the book at that point and decided to change it. Yeah, he flew home after Jeddah.
Yeah, and then had to fly to New York.
And then got a call to come to New York. Must say, though, nice to have some decent fans in.
Good crowd, by the way. Really good crowd. I've got a little rant about the crowd stuff because I think it's getting more and more noticeable now when they pump the crowd noise in.
Yeah.
And it's kind of embarrassing.
It is.
Don't get me wrong. Baby faces will get cheered and heels will get booed.
Some do.
It's but it's so, I don't know how due diligent they are when they watch it if they're sad sacks like me and you, but I really notice it now, and I'm like, because it's the same one for SmackDown and it's the same one for Raw. Don't know if they do it as much in pay-per-views because it's harder to tell. I don't think they definitely done it at the something over the weekend with LA Knight. SmackDown, sorry, last week.
Yeah, SmackDown,
They pumped the booze in for him because he was. I read loads of reports that the whole arena were chanting his name. So this Raw, I really did notice that they were pumping, and I didn't think they need to because the crowd in New York sounded. It takes away that authenticity, really, for me. Back in the day, the crowd. God, we grew up in the Attitude Era, like we say all the time. Some of the things that the crowd were chanting and never got bleeped out, or they just let it ride. Nowadays, my God, if they chanted some of the things that were chanted in the Attitude Era, then I think WWE would be taken off the air. But for me, I noticed it more watching Raw. I actually stayed up and watched most of it live because I was watching the NBA playoffs. I stupidly stayed up to watch the Celtics game. I had an hour's sleep when we lost it. Anyway. I had Raw on the telly and the basketball and the tab.
You like the guy Double or Nothing that was watching Double or Nothing.
What a legend! He had NXT on his phone. What an absolute hero. Why not? If you're a wrestling fan, just do it. People just they castrate everyone for doing it.
That's what I was saying on the Twitter thing. I was saying, look, I'm a WWE guy, but I will have an unbiased, and this is what I like about our podcast. We've got like Dave, massive AEW fan,
and I only watched AEW this weekend because of you and Dave. You were like, good show. I was like, do you know what? I'll check it out. And I openly admit I don't watch it every week. There aren't enough hours in the day, one for one. But you guys are like, Andy, really good show. Check the opening match, amazing. The pay-per-view was good. And then I watched NXT Battleground. I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
I'm me and you with WWE. I'm not going to hide the fact that I've grown up with WWF, WWE. It always will be my favorite.
Base yourself is that we have an unbiased opinion on every product. If we don't like something in WWE, we'll say it. If we don't like something in AEW, we'll say it. There's been
plenty of times we've said we haven't liked things in WWE.
And it was like his whole, you can't say anything bad about WWE. That was one of the tweets. They went, what have you got to criticize about WWE?
Jesus, how long have you got?
fuck me, I mean, you got a fucking pencil and a bit of paper.
Jeez,
You know what I
man,
mean?
that could be
Anyway,
an hour-long podcast. Anyway,
let's move on.
we're off our soapbox. So AJ and
No.
Seth opened up the show,
Yes.
only to be interrupted by the Judgment Day. Finn come out and cut a promo, and and every wrestling fan that's watched wrestling for God knows how long, as soon as they come out, I was sitting on my bed watching it, and I went, "Oh, there's a tag match at the main event." Straight away, I was like, "Yep, that's the Judgment Day versus Seth and AJ." And alas, later on in the show, it was. It looks like maybe someone from the Judgment Day could be pushed to have that. What me and you were talking about the other day. I'm hoping it's Damian Priest, because I really like this dude. I'm hoping that if he does have a one-on-one match with Seth, I'm hoping it's at Money in the Bank. I'm hoping we get to see it. Is that where you think that we said the other day, didn't we? I mean, you done our review. Who's going to be the first one? I think it's going to be someone from the Judgment Day, because Drew McIntyre again didn't show up this weekend. He's going to be soon.
We got to remember that Drew's sister-in-law passed away.
Ah, yes.
So we may not be quite that yet. Anyway, he's going to be one of them. Whether it'll be Finn just to carry on from the tournament, or whether they'll give Damian Priest his rightful opportunity. By the way,
such a good performer. By the way,
huge.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, mate. I'm really liking his work. Then we got to our first Money in. Anyway, it was decided that the Seth and AJ, the tag match was going to happen. It's going to be set later on in the night. I thought it was quite good. After the break, when it come back, Adam Pearce was allegedly, "I'm on the phone to WWE, Triple H. Yeah, I'm trying to make this match happen." And they kind of mentioned, yes, boss. We know the draft. Yet we know he's not. And I was like, bloody, you must think we all come down in the last fucking rain shower or something. But anyway, the match was happened, and it was set up for the main event of Raw was going to be the Judgment Day versus AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. We got our first Money in the Bank qualifier match, mate. We are 4 weeks away now from you and I attending Money in the Bank. Ricochet versus The Miz.
Yep.
I've got to say it. This is one of the best Miz matches I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
He kind of had that badass attitude back about him. I kind of knew where they were going to go with it, because if you're having a ladder match, if it's Money in the Bank, you're going to want Ricochet in it.
Yes.
So Ricochet ends up winning the match. But do you think that WWE have got any plans for Miz? Because like I said to you on our review show from Saudi Arabia, just how I don't think Natty gets news for absolutely nothing these days. What is the Miz? Don't get me wrong, someone sent out a great tweet. I don't know if you saw it. Did I retweet it on our account? I don't think
you did.
You might have seen it. Someone put out a great tweet. When will the Miz win at Life? Someone quote tweeted it. He's married to Maurice and worth $200 million. I think the Miz is okay.
Yeah. Brilliant.
But coming back to wrestling, what do you think that they'll end up doing with the Miz? Because he had that great IC title run and he made it relevant again. And I loved that Miz. I thought it was brilliant. He held on to the World Heavyweight Championship for a while and defended it at WrestleMania against John Cena again. I like that Miz. I thought it was good, but now he seems to plateauing is the what a word, plateauing. I thought I'd get that on the podcast. But I don't know. They don't seem to really. He's another Dolph Ziggler kind of.
You took it. Move on.
I don't know what's going on with this Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Natty Neidhart, Braun Strowman. There's a few of these guys right now that I don't know.
Strowman's injured. So
but even before then, he's with Ricochet, and okay, so all right tag team. But do you get what I'm saying about some of these superstars? Don't go. It was good to get Dolph was on Raw this week, and he got fucking absolutely obliterated in a matter of seconds, and he had his head against the steel chairs. But what do you think? WWE Creative got anything for the Miz, or they're just saying to him, "Look, mate, we need you to go into this Money in the Bank qualifier. We need you to go to Saudi Arabia. We need to be the host, not even on WrestleMania. You're not wrestling. Okay, you kind of wrestled, but you're not even on. You're a host of WrestleMania. This is a guy that was a great IC champion, carried the title when they didn't really have anyone else, and had a relatively good feud with John Cena. WWE just ran out of ideas for him.
Yeah, I think so. There's so many. You've hit 2 or 3 on the head already. He's what they call the steady Eddie, isn't he? He's one that, oh, we need to get a carrot guy over. Oh, we need to get someone in this. Oh, there's a tournament coming up. We need 6 people. I will put me in. He's a company guy. He's not gonna sit there and start going, well, I want more money or I want this. That tweet just kind of said it all, really. The guy's $20 million. He's married to Maurice.
He's winning in life.
He is. What more do you know? Yeah, I'm sure he'll be.
Every morning. Oh, there's Maurice. Oh, hard life.
Yeah, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and the people will probably get fucking. I'll probably get rinsed.
Well done. You just started yourself in another Twitter argument.
Oh, don't even. I'm not even. You know, I need. It must be this diet. I'm on this carnivore diet when I'm just eating meat at the minute. I mean, nothing else but meat.
Just eating meat.
I'll be like Bronson Reed in a couple of weeks. Yeah, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and but yeah, they're just going to use him as steady hands. That's it. That's the Miz now. I don't think he'll ever get to that title reign. Would he win another title? Maybe, but it won't be a world.
No, I could put him in a tag. Maybe he could win the tag team titles. But Ricochet won the match, advanced to Money in the Bank. So there was number 1 for us in London. We have Ricochet in the Money in the Bank. So then I'm going to kind of get on my soapbox here a little bit as well. Trish Stratus comes out. Now, how long has she been in the WWE? 25 years, 20 years, give or take.
Yeah, give or take.
In the ring, incredible. One of the best to ever do it for the women. Unbelievable. Attitude Era, set the bar, done everything in the Attitude Era, took the women from the bra and panties matches to actual wrestling matches.
Yep.
Fantastic. Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Incredible.
Yep.
Cannot cut a fucking promo to save her life. Please tell me, Adam, I'm not the only one that thinks this. So she come out, brings out Zoe Stark again, called up from NXT, still kind of shadowing Trish. We get it we get why WWE do that. Becky comes out, ends up in a beatdown. We knew where Becky still had the same gear on from Saudi.
Yeah, she must have smelled.
I don't know why she had it on. I'd have had her in I don't know why the man gimmick seems to have vanished again, like I said the other day. But anyway, Trish Stratus cut. Is promo school not a thing anymore? It clearly wasn't a thing back in the Attitude Era. Tell me I'm not the only one that sees this. I thought her promo was goddamn. I've seen better promos of the up and coming in NXT. I was watching that. She was all like, yeah. And I was like, hello, Trish, speak up, please. Hello. I don't know, mate. What did you think? I thought the promo was terrible.
It's fucking dreadful. It was literally like me and you trying to cut it.
Honestly, it was like me and they just said, "Yeah, guys, go and cut a promo on WWE TV." But I would have done a better job than that.
Yeah, it was awful. I don't mind Zoe Stark being with her. I think it's good to give her a bit of put her in the mix already because even
though she nearly did mess up her finisher again on Becky.
Yeah, that is a dangerous finisher to.
Twice now she's fucked that up.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one because you've got to get it right when they spin and tuck in. You've got to get the knee right, and twice she's got it wrong.
Yeah, and we kind of forgot that Becky Lynch broke her nose, right?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Again, I was like, hang on a minute, what happened to her broken nose that she had on?
Start calling her Kill Bill Becky, I think. With her outfit.
Like Cody's broken arm. But yeah, so Trish, they've got unfinished business. Is this leading to Money in the Bank now? Because Becky's in a qualifying match next week.
Zoe Stark.
Zoe Stark. So again, is this gonna be elongated? That's a word.
Elongated.
I thought I had it. Damn it. Is it going to be elongated to SummerSlam?
Yeah, it'll be SummerSlam. They won't put that on Money in the Bank. Becky will beat Sonya. Zoe will beat. Oh, it's Natty. She's going to win. There you go. Next week. So that one's in the book. So it'll be Becky, Zoe. I can't remember. There's some on SmackDown as well this week.
Yeah, I haven't seen
LA Knight against Montez Ford on SmackDown. Why couldn't they have had both of them in?
That'll be a good. I hope LA Knight's in the Money in the Bank match.
Oh,
but yeah, they laid Becky in the corner and put the thanks Trish.
Thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Trish. Yeah, and I was a bit like, I think I remember you messaged me this morning saying first hour of Raw, bad. Second hour of Raw, okay. Third
Yeah.
hour, quite good.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I've rewatched a little bit of it back because I was watching the basketball, and I have got through the whole show again today. I didn't fast forward any of it. Watched the whole show, and yeah, I think you were right. The first hour was very much. I think I was live tweeting during it, and I think we were an hour and a half in,
yeah.
and we had Ricochet versus The Miz.
And you had the squash match with the
Oh
Indus year and
God, what is that? By the way, what is? And someone put on Twitter again. I don't get to do this that often. It's good going on WWE Twitter live while Raw's on. They were like, "Why is this Vinda shit?" And I'm like, "They're going to India to do a pay-per-view
September
soon.
the 9th.
This is the only reason." And I don't mean this horribly. WWE do it. They've done it leading up to Puerto Rico. They'll do it leading up to London. They'll do it when they're going to Mexico in September. I saw that Roman Reigns is advertised a bit. The WWE tweeted out Roman Reigns' schedule.
Oh yeah, big schedule.
Like they're doing like a little mini toury kind thing with Roman. It's going to be on. He's in Mexico, so no doubt that Rey Mysterio will probably be involved in that. It's what WWE do. So all this Indus Shear with Jinder Mahal and the couple. In my notes here, I put it was like watching old school WWF superstars.
Oh
remember the jobber matches that come out, and it was like the Heartthround Demolition would squash someone in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
this is what this was, and I'm like, this is kind of what annoys me. And apparently we don't slag off WWE. This is what annoys me with WWE is they'll put people in these spots purely because of the demographic that they're trying to reach.
Yeah,
whether that's out in India with the Indus Shear thing, whether that's
shit.
It is in the shit, really, because they tried it with Matey Boy before when they called him up to Raw, then they went back to NXT and yeah. But that's what I don't like about WWE right now. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure AEW do it when they come to London. I'm sure there's quite a few Brits that are going to be on that card. They're kind of edging towards obviously the India show, and they're just jobbing these people. Who's going to be interested in the storyline that they're going to do? In all seriousness, who's going to give a shit? It's going to be right. I'm going for a piss.
Yeah,
that's all it's going to be. And and it doesn't interest me. They squashed these two. I don't even know they squashed. And I was first of all, I was like, on Google, I was like, are they from NXT? Have I missed something? And I was like, nope, never heard of these two local bums from New York. So that happened. There was a little squash match, and like you say in my notes, I put because there's a pay-per-view coming up in India. KO and Sammy then made their way out. Quite possibly one of the funniest bits of the night. And here again in my notes, I put 1 hour into Raw and we've had one real match.
Yes.
The wrestling takes a back step, doesn't it?
Entertainment.
The pay-per-views, I get it. They really do put on a good show, but how much do you think, Ray, you're a wrestling fan, just talking as a purely wrestling fan, not just a couple of guys that host a podcast now. How much do you watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and NXT and Dynamite and Rampage for the actual wrestling?
Well, I'd like to watch it because I want to see wrestling.
If you, do you know what? If I can do it next week's Raw review, I'm putting my stopwatch on. And I'm going to see how much time wrestling matches take up. Because that 3 hour show yesterday, I'll be amazed if there's 50 minutes of wrestling.
Yeah.
Is it? Are we just being grumpy old men today? I mean, just you know what I mean. But I'm interested to get the site. Maybe like you say, you've got into these heated Twitter arguments debates over the last 24 hours, 48 hours. I'm interested to see these quote unquote modern day fans. Me and you are very old school. We grew up in the 80s, the 90s, the Attitude Era, yada, yada. We say it all the time. I'm interested to see what people tune into Raw for. What do they tune into SmackDown for? Do they tune in because, I want to, they always advertise the matches the day before.
Yeah.
I want to see Ricochet. I want to see Seth versus Kevin Owens. I want to, or why do you choose? It'd be such an interesting question I've never really got into. Why do you tune in to the modern day wrestling event?
For me, there's
not times when you go, oh my God, that match was incredible. I mean, you messaged me about a month ago. There was one on Main Event that you were like, Andy, you've got to watch this. It's incredible.
Tyler Bate and Ziggler.
Yeah. And that's on main events. That's where they're hiding all the good matches. And on Raw and SmackDown, we're just getting 10-minute, 15-minute. Oh, and you can always see, I notice a lot, and I'm a bit geeky. You can always see the referee when he goes down to check on the wrestlers. He's telling them the time that they've got to go to break. When they come back from break, right, we're back from break now. And it's all like, people don't watch wrestling anymore because they're invested in wrestling matches. They watch Raw and SmackDown because it's like a soap opera. And wrestling is a soap opera. I get that. Don't fucking tweet us and start going on. I know it's a soap opera, but I mean it's like for in the UK and EastEnders or something like that. People don't watch it anymore for wrestling, do they?
No, and they should. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, granted, yeah. I mean, when I watch like Raw on BT, they'll say what's coming up on SmackDown this week, and to be honest, if it says Romans on it, I'm watching. Because of that whole thing. That's
Bloodline, you don't want to miss any part of the Bloodline story.
And then last week they announced the 2 Money in the Bank matches, and I was like, okay, well, I want to see those because I've got an interest because we're going to Money in the Bank anyway. But I'd always want to see, Montez Ford, I love, and anything with Ford in, LA Knight, things like that, I want to see. So it was like, great, I'll watch that because that's on it. They do the same with Raw, and they do the same with NXT. They announced a weaponized steel cage match for NXT tonight. So I was like, well, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
I'm definitely watching NXT tomorrow. I love Battleground, by the way.
Kudos to WWE putting on Battleground. It was fantastic, and it was nice to see NXT come out of its 2.0 slumber, but going back into black and gold, just a different version under Shaw. I would like to, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be an added soap opera element to wrestling. There always was, even in the Attitude Era there was. But you watched it because it doesn't even if it was that way, that we just raw how it was. If it was, but viewing that you wanted to see, then it's different. Like Attitude Era, you wouldn't mind if there was 2 matches in the opening hour and a bit of Raw if you had an Austin McMahon bit at the start.
Yeah, and you didn't mind so much because you knew at the end of the main event was going to be Austin and The Rock versus Undertaker and Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting AJ Styles and Seth Rollins versus the Judgment Day, and I'm kind of like, that's sending. Is that real? Don't get me wrong. We'll get to it. The match was good.
Yeah.
Is that really sending? Is that the end you want to see? You say it all the time. Make me want to watch Raw next week.
Yeah.
Seth and AJ holding each other's arms up at the end. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly Stone Cold throwing the Rock throwing Stone Cold off a bridge.
No.
Yeah. Or, someone driving over a car and filling it with cement. And it's not them. I know them days are long gone and I'm sounding like a grumpy old man today. But that at the end, it doesn't hook me to go, oh, man. SmackDown does because the Bloodline are on it next week. They kept teasing it on Raw. We've got a Bloodline update. No, you haven't. You just showed us a rerun of the weekend.
Yeah.
And then you told us that they're going to be on SmackDown. So
we already knew.
We already knew. So yeah. KO and Sammy were out. Then Imperium come out, which I thought was good. And KO's promo, you come out when we didn't say you were going to come out. We didn't say your name, and I thought it was brilliant. I'm guessing this is kind of where they're going now. I'm guessing they're going to try and move KO and Sammy away from the Bloodline because the Bloodline is going to be in.
Well, they can't now, can they? Unless they just forget about the draft again. Well, no, actually they can because Kevin and Sammy can go to SmackDown as part of it.
They can go to SmackDown, can't they? Yeah, that's why the draft is a complete fucking waste of time. But KO was wearing a We the Ones t-shirt. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Thought it was.
I did chuckle when I saw that.
Made me chuckle.
And I tell you what, Kevin Owens as a funny face is brilliant. Like he's great as a serious heel, but he's also got that. There's the funny, even just some of the little facial expressions. If you watch him closely when something happens, like when Chad Gable done the world's longest shoosh during that segment, his face. It was
KO was like, say the bit. I'm here. It's the only reason I'm here. Thank you.
I always do that to my son, and it's so.
I do it to a lot of people, even when I'm at work, and they're like, "What's this 44-year-old man doing?" Get a customer to sign my paperwork. Thank you. Anyway, that was kind of setting up the Alpha Academy versus Imperium.
Did you hear Sammy mess that up? By the way,
he was
American Alpha.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. KO and Sammy were ringside. The bit I didn't get, the bird from the Viking Raiders.
So yeah, they had.
I blinked and I went. Don't get me wrong. I know I was watching the basketball at the same time, but I was kind of like, Am I off a fucking sleep here? What?
I think that was just kind of segueing to get American. Oh, Jesus, I need to say American Alpha.
Wow.
The Alpha
Alpha
Academy,
Academy
feud with the Viking Raiders started, so I think they segued that in because Imperium are going after Kevin and Sammy, so they wanted to give Master Gable and Otis a feud to go with as well.
Oh, okay. Well, fair
I
enough.
think.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was the Alpha Academy versus Imperium.
Yep.
Very good, actually.
What'd you expect?
Yeah, it was. No, it
that was
good.
the other
Imperium
funny
pick up the. They pick up the win. Imperium pick up the. Sorry, mate. Go on.
The baldy thing. I was going to
They
take
got the whole crowd there. Yeah. Did you take offence to that?
Did I take offence to it? I'm so used to it, mate. So no.
I might try and get one of them started at Buckle Up when you go in the ring. Baldy. Yeah. See if we can. It'll be like my mum and my
they
sister.
probably fucking will know. That's the problem.
Mad Bournemouth crowd. But yeah, Imperium getting up a win. It was quite good. Gunther and fucking soppy stat. What's his fucking name?
Riddle. Matt
Believe.
Riddle.
Do you know what? If they dare put the IC title on Riddle, if this is how he's going to lose it, especially if it's safe, it's in like, I want you to win Money in the Bank so you can cash it in on me. No one fucking wants to see that. No one. Tell me anyone a wrestling fan that wants to see that.
I don't mind them too.
Oh yes, something wrong with you, honestly. You have taken.
It'll be great because Gunther can chop 7 bells of shit out.
Yeah, good. Chop him back to rehab. I don't care where he fucking goes. I don't want to see him. Up next, the women's tag team title. They had to the match for the vacant women's tag team titles. Yes. We said a couple of weeks ago the team that we didn't want to see win it, and lo and behold, they went and won it. What did you make of a Ronda and Shayna Baszler being now women's tag team champ? And again, talk about bad promos. Oh, Ronda back. Come on, dude. I think me and you mentioned this post WrestleMania. That's how long ago it was, or what the SmackDown before Mania, and we were like, just don't give Ronda a microphone. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, what did you make of it? We kind of knew they were going to win because it wasn't really. I was just hoping they were going to kind of put it on Bayley, but they didn't. What did you make now, Ronda, and where's this going? What they're doing? Do you care?
I like the match. I thought the match was pretty good.
Match was good. There was a lot of that suicide dive through the rope though. Why is that in every match nowadays?
Speaking of suicide dives, did you see? I think it was Carmelo Hayes at NXT.
Yes, Jesus, away. Mate. Yeah,
that's talking millimeters away from being serious. I shouldn't have laughed. It was fucking well close to being game over for him. I'm not a fan of this. I'm really not a fan of anyone going over the top or anything because it is such a, we always talk about, milliseconds and seconds, and it is such a timed thing. If you get that wrong in one.
Matey boy in AEW running along the ropes.
Yeah.
He's done that twice on.
Shayna, look, I couldn't give a shit. Who cares?
Who are they feuding with now? Where the fuck's this going?
Well, I don't even know. They promoted a tag team coming up from NXT, didn't they?
The English girls, weren't it? They're
the Scottish girls. Yeah, they're on SmackDown, but they're still the NXT tag team champions on SmackDown.
Yeah, see, what is? Explain to me now. Can you help me, please? Honestly, we will call this show Grumpy Day or something. I don't know, but what's going on with the belts? SmackDown is on Raw. Raw's on Smack. Is this again? This comes back to the start of the show. Just completely forget the fucking draft. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, and I still don't know what's going on with the NXT tag. When Indy Hartwell, because she had an injury as well, she had to relinquish anyway. So they done that. Tiffany Stratton won it the other night. Great, she's a great character and a good worker, so that's fine. They done one. They done a promo for Caden Chance, and I can't remember the other bird's name. Another tag team from NXT that are already drafted that are coming up, and we know also there's more on the way now following Battleground. So there's more call-ups coming in the next few weeks.
I hope it doesn't decimate NXT. I'm just getting back into it. But
well, Breaker will be getting called.
Where do you reckon he'll go? Raw.
Oh, Jesus, that's a.
Do you remember when they called KO up originally? He had his first match, John Cena. Could he be? Breaker go straight for Seth.
Gunther.
Good shout.
And the other team was the Creed brothers are coming up. Tag team.
See, now them I like.
Yeah,
the only problem is, though, when they come up to the main roster, they get ruined.
Well, not so much now, because
Triple H is around now, and
if you've noticed, the NXT call-ups are actually starting to win. For even Asuka, who was an NXT original, not original, but she was part of NXT. They're all starting to come up and win stuff now. So, and I don't think,
they're not coming up and completely changing their gimmick. Like that seemed to be the thing. They got loved in NXT. They called up to the main roster, and all of a sudden, the Viking Raiders weren't the Viking Raiders in NXT when they originally started. They were. I was going to come to it. It'll come to me.
War Machine. No, they were War Machine in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they weren't Viking Raiders straight away in NXT, and then they come up and they changed them twice. They come up and there was something.
The Viking experience, wasn't it?
There you go. That's it. It was the Viking. Yeah, some crazy shit. Dolph Ziggler and JD McDonough in a squash. Ziggler got battered.
It's double count out squash though, right?
Oh, double count out. Next thing you know, Ziggler's getting absolutely pummeled into the steel chairs. Chairs. Sorry, it'd be interesting to see those stairs. Yeah, I reckon that would have been interesting. Yeah, I don't know really what they're doing with Dolph. Comes back to the Miz thing. Really, it's just like, okay, Dolph, we kind of need you to do this for us. And Dolph getting paid millions. Like he's traveling up and down America doing comedy skits. He doesn't care. His missus is fucking beautiful and all. But to be fair, him is. I saw a picture of her on some tweet thing.
He was with Amy Schumer for a little while.
I'm not sure it was. I wouldn't kick her out of bed to get to you. Put it that way. Yeah. So I was just a bit like, I don't really know what's going on with Dolph. Then we had Cody and his broken arm. Out he comes. Again, I was just like, please. He come out and I'm thinking, please don't be, no more Brock, no more Brock. Something new happened. Someone come down, you say something. No, what did he do? Come out with his broken arm. Somehow still managed to undo his jacket with his broken arm. And issued a open challenge to Brock Lesnar by saying, my schedule is going to be on Twitter. You will see if I'm in New York, if I'm in Philadelphia, if I'm in Newcastle, that means I'm ready to fight. What, with a broken, broken arm? And for the people listening on audio, I'm doing my air quotes. With a broken arm? Come on, man. I use the term drop the ball a lot. I don't know. I don't want to see, unless it's last man standing, because that could be pure brutality. And quickly segue into Battleground NXT Last Man Standing, one of the best Last Man Standing.
Yes, it was.
I've ever seen. If Cody and Brock is last man standing, and like you said, Brock's not going to be at Money in the Bank, so fuck knows when we're going to get it, unless it is going to be Money in the Bank, because they're not going to not going to put it on a Raw or SmackDown. Not a chance in hell. So when's this open challenge going to be accepted?
I don't know. He said don't forget. Cody said Brock was on holiday.
It's got to be money. It's got to be Money in the Bank, surely.
The only thing that could happen at Money in the Bank is that Cody could be in the Money in the Bank. He could be set to win Money in the Bank, and then Lesnar comes up. That's the only thing I can think of, because they won't. I can't see it. My view is the card is going to be too stacked for Money in the Bank for Lesnar. I know it sounds stupid because Lesnar, well, in my opinion, he's fucking, after just about beating one-armed Cody Rhodes, his stock has dropped, in my opinion, because it's like I said at Mania to you. What about Lesnar? It was like, oh no, not Mania, Backlash. I didn't mind that because of the way they done it was fine. Cody should have been decimated at Night of Champions.
Like you said, the John Cena kind of SummerSlam.
Exactly. He should have been absolutely pummeled to bits by Brock. The fact that he even come close to winning that match is ridiculous. The only thing I can see in Money in the Bank is Lesnar. It costed him Money in the Bank, and then hopefully, as you say, he had a last man standing at SummerSlam last year against Roman. Remember, with the forklift truck on the ring. Oh
yeah, lifted the ring up. That was an iconic picture.
But you think about it, it's really the only thing they've got, isn't it? Like, if you think about the way they do it, he passed out to the pain. So what can they do?
I love that. They love that though.
Oh, it's too much now. It's too much.
Austin and Brett. They've done that for years.
When Austin done it, it was great because it was new. You hadn't really seen the fucking hell. Like he'd gone,
he had blood pissing out of his head.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, Oh, okay. It
Get a
used to be
bigger.
back in the day. It used to be the lift the arm up and I'm gonna
Oh, they
hulk
done
up.
it once, didn't they? They done.
Yeah.
See, did you know it's a backlash? They done it to 3 times the first time, and he put his
Mm.
arm up, and then the
Yeah.
second time they done it once, and they called the bell.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, for those that watched wrestling during the 80s, that was the when Hogan lifted his arm up 3 times. He was
Oh, and
hulking
he
up.
would start pumping up.
Yeah, you. So yeah, I don't know, mate. I'm not really sure what's going on with Go. I don't really want, unless it's last man standing and it's an absolute bloodbath. That's the only time I want to see it. But it looks like we're going to get it for at least another 4. I don't think Cody will wrestle again till Money in. He's going to have to. If he's in Money in the Bank, he's going to have a qualifier.
Yeah, well, this is the thing that's annoying me as well. It was the same with MJF, because we talked about this on Sunday with the guys from the Honor Elite Facebook page. It was MJF talking was great, but when he had the match just now, Double or Nothing, his 2023 singles record was 2-0. That's your champion, 2-0.
That's modern day wrestling, my friend.
That's bollocks. I'm sorry.
Modern day.
Where's this whole? Do you remember they used to have a 30-day rule?
Hmm?
That gets blown out the fucking wind, doesn't it? When it
Yeah, that doesn't fucking that doesn't matter anymore, mate. Yeah, so yeah, that happened. Shinsuke then faced Bronson Reed in another Money in the Bank qualifier match. I was kind of hoping Bronson Reed won this because I'd want to see him flying off a ladder in London. Don't get me wrong, I love Shinsuke. I think he's such an underrated talent, and I loved him in. If you remember his original when he come up from NXT and the crowd and the hype around him. WWE fucking killed that.
Yeah.
I wanted Bronson Reed to win this match because I would love nothing more than to see him fly off the top of a ladder at the O2 Arena. But Shinsuke win, advanced to Money in the Bank. So that's him and Ricochet so far in the Money in the Bank. And again, like you say, they've already announced some more qualifier matches for SmackDown this week, and I'm guessing they're going to fill Raw up for the next couple of weeks. I think that's all we're going to get is promos, Money in the Bank qualifiers, promos, Money in the Bank qualifiers, SmackDown, Bloodline, Money in the Bank qualifiers, Bloodline. That's going to be it now till July. We then had the main event of Raw, which was AJ and Seth. We thought was going to be Dom and Damian Priest, but no, Finn come in, blindsided AJ and Seth, and it was ended up being Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus AJ and Seth in what I thought was a very good main event. Good apart from the end bit, which we'll get into. I thought it was a good match. I mean, Seth and AJ were always going to go over. They're not fucking fire the poor guy in and then not put him over, but it was okay match. Again, it didn't like I said at the start of today's show. It didn't leave me wanting more. The only thing I liked about that match, really, it made me feel a bit old school, was it ended with Seth on the turnbuckle with the title. It kind of reminded me of the old days. And I know I do sound like a grumpy old man again, but when a Raw or a SmackDown or even a Nitro needs to finish, it needs to be focused somehow on the champion, the belt. There was an iconic, something happened. I liked that at the end of the match. And they raised each other's hands, and then Seth got on the ropes and he had the belt. And I thought that was brilliant. But the match was good. It didn't leave me wondering what next week on Raw. All it left me thinking was, like I just said, I'm going to get a shit ton of qualifier matches for Money in the Bank. I'll probably get a Seth Rollins promo if I'm lucky, because he is super busy at the minute. I don't think he's in it. He's filming the new Captain America. He's done it. It's all done, is it? Okay, so we're going to get Seth on Raw. I'm going to guess in another tag team match next week. What did you make of it? The match was good. I enjoyed it. It just didn't leave me and you said, it didn't leave me thinking, fuck, I need to watch Raw next week.
Yeah, because we don't know. Steph really needs to get an opponent now for Money in the Bank. I mean, he's probably going to be Dominic now. We said, but the match was good, but there was no significance.
Nothing on it.
They would have made it better if they said whoever at a Judgment Day if Judgment Day wins, whoever pins gets the
title shot.
Yeah, something like that.
What they should have done is say gets a title shot next week. We know they're not going to win it.
Yeah,
WWE used to do that all the time. The winner of this match will face Stone Cold or The Rock or the end next week, and you're like, oh, that'll be a good match. So Finn pinned. You're not going to have him pin Seth, so you'd have him pin AJ. Seth still looks good, and then next week we're like, that'll be a That'd be an interesting match.
Title match, yeah.
There's a title match. We know it's not gonna
change,
but you're kind of like, oh, this is a title match on live TV on Monday Night Raw, like it used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
And something could happen where the Judgment Day could get involved, and that progresses that feud. Or if you did want to introduce a Drew McIntyre, he could come down and make the save, and we could turn on Seth. And we really should be WWE writers. But for me, I was just like, oh. That's the
I was kind of
that was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it wasn't for me, but I was kind of waiting to see if AJ was going to attack Steph.
That's a main event. Yeah.
Well, that would have been impressive.
She's been in the main event of Raw a few times.
She has. I was kind of seeing if he was going to attack him. Yeah, didn't happen. So yeah, it was kind of. At the end, I was just like, okay. And I was just like, right, come on Friday because I want to see what happens with the Bloodline. It was literally
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's going to be Money in the Bank qualifiers. I'm interested to know. I'm interested to see NXT. I'm going to record it tonight.
I'll watch it tomorrow. Weaponized
I'm hoping they. Sometimes WWE get this very right, or they get it very wrong. I'm hoping they capitalize on a good performance. And the same goes for AEW when Dynamite airs this Wednesday. I'm hoping they capitalize.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm hoping both promotions. I know we're not allowed to say this, but we like all wrestling. I'm hoping both promotions capitalize on what was a very good weekend of wrestling. Saudi Arabia was good. Double or Nothing was good. NXT in New York I thought was really good. But I listened to when we were chatting on our group chat this morning. I know Dave thought that AEW just edged it this weekend. I thought NXT was better.
I said that AEW. And I sort of said I thought NXT was marginally better.
Yeah, I'm not talking like for me. I just enjoyed maybe because I'm just a WWE.
Do you know what the best pay-per-view of the weekend was? Under Siege.
Okay.
Impact Wrestling.
Holy
mother of God!
Great things over there.
Jesus.
Well, who did he wrestle?
Well, he done it.
Moses. He had a last man standing against Moses.
Wow, that would have been interesting. Well, they've got a Moose there, haven't they? It could have changed it.
Yeah, close.
That was just incredible as well. Under Siege. Okay,
I might go and watch that after this. But yeah, as for wrapping up Raw,
meh.
Yeah, meh. I agree with you because obviously, like I said, I was kind of watching the basketball but I was really focusing on the wrestling a lot. Yeah, next, I think we're just going to be kind of stuck in that Money in the Bank qualifier promo. Money in the Bank.
The funny, weird thing was we were saying like we're going to be stuck in this rot until Mania. We're going to be stuck in this until after draft. It's all going to change after Backlash.
Nothing's really changed.
Nothing has changed.
No, Money in the Bank's the key, I think.
Yeah,
Money in the Bank's the key. If you had to, you're a betting man, who would you like to see win Money in the Bank?
Said it on the last pod, LA Knight.
Do you think he will, though?
No, but I want him to.
I think...
Until the field's there, I don't know.
But what worried me is the Money in the Bank not going to be like back in the day where is it going to be cashed in on the IC title?
No.
No. For me...
it was like when Austin Theory threatened to cash it in on the NXT champion.
They completely fucked it up with him. They had to get it off him in the end, and they didn't have a clue he lost it in a match.
Luckily enough, they made it better for him. Though.
Not the worst one though, Otis.
Oh mate, that was pandemic era, wasn't it?
Do you remember? It was on top of the building.
That's when it Priest threw Mysterio off the fucking roof.
Yeah, threw him off the roof.
He's still wrestling.
It was like Die Hard, Nakatomi Plaza. What's his name when he threw him? It was kind of one of them moments. But yeah. Anyway, it was an okay episode of Raw. But moving on from Raw, holy mother of God, have we pulled it out the bag this Wednesday? Jesus Christ, yeah, I keep forgetting the bank holiday. Tomorrow, I know we've got you're pulling double duty tomorrow, but mate. Matt Cardona.
You're putting double duty and all.
Yeah, I mean, but Matt Cardona is coming on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast to probably, I would say, probably the most successful independent wrestler to come out of WWE and be even more popular. Sometimes you think, they go to AEW or they go to Impact. They'll go. Matt Cardona went everywhere.
He's been
everywhere. He's been everywhere. Ring of Honor. He's done it all. And he's got a great podcast, obsessed with wrestling figures. Can't wait to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
But there probably haven't been many wrestlers that have come out of the big leagues, quote unquote, and be as successful as he has. And we've got him on the podcast tomorrow.
We do. It's going to be great. I mean, Matt's, as you said, I always say he was social media before social media was invented. And then maybe to his detriment when he was in WWE, they didn't want him to get over, and he did.
And he was really over that main event of Raw.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's going to be great to talk to him about the now, though.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the now. We're not going to really.
I don't give a shit if he's going back to WWE. He said it last week. I'm going to go back for 2 reasons: cash and creative. So we know. So we don't need to ask him that question.
No.
I want to know what makes a good podcast. Who better to ask than the man that does it himself?
Not me.
No, Matt. Not you. You don't even. Oh, and before we wrap up, we must say a good congratulations to you. Your podcast, The Dunstable Town, come 5th in its.
Yeah, the best non-league podcast in the country. Hollywood beat us. There was 3 Wrexham podcasts.
3.
Yeah, 3 of them. We come 5th for little old Dunstable Town.
We can tell that to Matt tomorrow.
Anyone that cares, at DTFC Pod on Twitter. Might not care. But yeah, we come 5th, mate. I was over the moon with that. My Washington one last year in the top 3. We were nominated for best. Always the bridesmaid.
Maybe Matt can ask you for advice.
Well, that would be interesting. But yeah, we are back tomorrow. We've got loads of shows dropping this week. Adam's got some regular. Him and Fiona have got some regular NWA stuff coming up.
So yes, we are doing NWA from next week. So we're doing the Crockett Cup review next week, and we're starting our Power reviews.
Power review. So anyone that wants to watch NWA, just go onto YouTube, type in NWA. You can watch it all for free. You don't have to pay
anything. About 2 hours.
Yeah. So watch that. But the amazing Fiona. We've obviously got you and Dave back doing Dynamite Dave will be back with us on Wednesday.
He's back tomorrow. He's doing the things with us tomorrow.
He's with us. There you go. It's about time I got to hang out with Dave. He's one of the nicest guys I think, and one of the most knowledgeable guys.
Yes.
About wrestling. People like him get me enthused about wrestling, much like yourself, and I've known you for years. But when someone like Dave and Fiona and all these people come along, you're like, this is why I like wrestling, because it's just us. We're just here chatting. Yet we put this on YouTube, but it's pretty much just us just talking like we normally do. So Dave will be back with us tomorrow. Then we've got the AEW Dynamite review shows coming up. We're going to try and squeeze in we're trying to squeeze in a SmackDown one.
Some point, yeah, we'll do that.
Well, we'll squeeze that. Might be probably Saturday morning.
We didn't do it last week because it was pre-taped. It was pointless.
Yeah, and everyone knew the results.
But we got Yestin on Thursday. We got me and Dave. We got Yestin Reese as well, who's just won the inaugural for Forever Wrestling Championship in the Indies. So we'll have a chat. And they've actually asked us for the link for the podcast. So once it's done,
I love that. So we're getting the word out there. We are slowly catching monkey. We have up to 100 subscribers now on YouTube. The Instagram is flying. Big shout out to Rach. She didn't get a tattoo with I Love Andy and Adam.
No, she did. It was quite disappointing when I saw that. Actually.
Disappointing, mate. So maybe she can be demoted.
And 572 Twitter followers as of right now.
There you go. So we're getting there. We are getting there. Like I say, we've got some great guests coming up. If you do want to check us out on the social medias, the Twitter is at HTTBuckle.
Oh, we're TikTok now.
TikTok. We are on TikTok. Just go to our link tree. It doesn't work for me when I do it, but go to our link tree. TikTok. All our shorts from our YouTube show. The one you're watching now, all our shorts are there, and we stitched Dave up already on his first short. We've absolutely stitched him up, but we're having great fun doing this. So you can find us anywhere: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all the socials. Just go and click our link tree, and you find just type it in the Turnbuckle podcast. But Adam, good to review Raw, mate, and I will see you in about 24 hours time.
You will indeed, yeah, for a double.
No worries, mate. This has been the Hit in the Turnbuckle podcast. I've been your host, Andy Burrows. That has been my tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousins. Till next time, everybody, buckle down and stay safe.